Hi, hello, how are you? Amanda, St. Artist, scratching my head. And that's how I'm starting every video. I have talked about this. I don't know how to start videos without being like, hi, hello, Amanda, St. Artist. I'm gonna do my makeup. This is what it is. This is what it will be. Everything else sounds weird. So there we are. All right, so basics. 4 tiles. I will be doing my whole face with 4 colors. My main highlight, brightening. I'm using the contour color Olive and the lip and cheek color Pink Grapefruit. Very pretty colors. And the powder brush. Now, I'm not going to lie. This isn't a brush you'll hear me recommend very often because I feel like there's other brushes that are better. Not going to lie. But we have so many brushes. They're all double-ended. And yes, one brush can do your whole face, which is the point of this. This is the point of me showing you the basics. You can do one brush for your whole face. This is a good middle of the road. This will give you a good medium coverage because it's not super dense. It's pretty soft. This side, I feel like the bristles are a little different. I feel like they don't pick up the creams as well. They're really good for picking up powder. So if you're going to be using a setting powder, yes, this is a good brush. If you're not somebody who needs the setting powder, say you have dry skin, maybe not. I'm really trashing this brush today, aren't I? Okay, so I'm gonna get started. So first things first, I'm gonna get my setting spray. I use the setting spray. I put it on a beauty blender for 2 reasons, maybe more. 1, the sprayer sucks. It does. And so I put it on a beauty blender and I get it everywhere on my face. That way I know it's exactly where I want it to be. I'm getting an even coverage. I feel like I get more on my skin this way and I want my makeup to stick. If you use a primer, use it. Go for it. But make sure it's not silicone based because it can cause slipping with the cream makeup. But I like applying it first with a beauty blender. At the end, you'll see I spray it up and then I let it fall. It mists down better than it sprays out. Otherwise, it's not the best sprayer. I've had some people who have purchased other sprayers and it's worked really well. I'm just waiting for my setting spray to dry. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with, first, I'm going to do this a little different. I am going to do my contour first. I like doing this. I like showing different ways of doing the makeup because there's no wrong way. They're just different. There is a learning curve with this makeup because what you're used to is taking that running foundation and putting it all over your face and then rebuilding. With this, it's different. It's paint by numbers. It's 1 layer of makeup. Everything in here is foundational coverage. So I kind of like to show all the different ways that you can do it because again, there is no wrong way. So I'm going to be primarily using this end of the brush. I like the bristles on this end. I like the squareness. I also like that it's round. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stamp into Olive. Olive is one of our lighter contours, and that's another thing that I really like about this makeup is there's a contour color for every shade of skin. There's not just 2 or 3, which it's hard to find contours that fit your skin tone, but also they're all powder and you can't use them as a foundational coverage. You can here. So I'm going to take this and I am going to start here on my cheek, okay? I'm going to be pushing this up on my cheek just like this. I'm just going to add a little more because I like to really get that in there. And it doesn't have to be super tidy. And I'm just pushing this up into my cheekbone, just like that. So I'm going to push this onto here and I'm just tapping it and I'm just going to be following that cheekbone just like this. Now, depending on your face shape is depending on how you're going to curve your contour. If you have a rounder face, you're going to want to contour more of a downward motion. If you have a longer face, you're going to want to curve it in. If you curve it down, it can elongate your face even more. And so it's all about structuring your face that's best suited for you. And so I have a graphic that I can post, a picture that I can post that shows all the different methods of contouring for different face shapes, which I will post in the comments. All right, so now I'm going to push into this some more, and I am just going to push down each side of my nose here, and I'm just getting that straightened out, slimming it down. You can even use your finger to do this, and you just wipe it down. Again, this is a lighter contour. I do like a bolder contour. That's just me, and so I'm just blending this with that brush, and I like that this makeup is forgivable. It's easily moved, it's easily fixable. One day I was doing my makeup and I really went crazy on my highlight down the middle of my nose. It was all fixable. Oh, things are easy. I have Ava home today. It's her day off of school. All right, I'm gonna come down each side of my forehead, just down the sides here, and this is just creating a shadow. That's what contour is. It's a shadow. That's why you don't use a bronzer to contour, because a bronzer is warm and a shadow should be cool, because our shadows aren't brown. They're more of a gray tone, so they're more of a cooler tone. All right, so I'm just putting that there, and I've put this on. Now, I have under blended my cheeks, and I've done that on purpose because I'm gonna be adding blush, I'm gonna be adding my highlights. There's gonna be more blending going on around there, so it's gonna get blended down. All right, I'm gonna add more to it, and I am going to go in front of my earlobe and down my jaw, and I'm just basically giving it some structure, slimming it down, and then pulling it down my neck, just like that. And then I'm just giving it a little zhuzhing. Same thing over here, just starting in front of that earlobe. And the reason I start in front of the earlobe is it gives that jawline a structure and it slims it down if that's what you're going for. And that's what I'm going for. All right, and I'm just pulling this down so it mimics a shadow, which is all that I'm doing with contouring. All right, the next thing I'm gonna go into is I'm going to go into my main highlight. This is my foundation. This is the color that matches my skin tone the most. I'm gonna go in with that same end. I'm not cleaning in between, I don't need to. I don't know why, it just works that way and it's great. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do something a little different here. I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna follow that contour, and I'm gonna, what the kids call, snatch it. And that's just cleaning up that bottom. You see how it's just tidied things up? And that's all the amount I'm gonna need. And now I'm just gonna bring this up into my nose, onto the crease. I don't apply it to the crease. I bring it to the crease. And I'm just filling in right here, just evening out my skin tone. And I only had to put that little bit on. I was able to clean up right here. And then I was able to move it around. Honey, thank you, I'm busy. Close the door, please.
Mama,
what?
can I have bubble gum?
Yes, you can have a bubble gum. Sugar-free bubble gum. This is brought to you by Extra.
Hugo?
Sugar-free, long-lasting flavor. All right, out, guys. Thank you. Shut the door, please. Mom life. All right, so I'm just gonna tap that on up here, cleaned that up. Okay, going back into it, pushing in. I don't wipe through because it'll pick up too much product, and less is more. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here where I snatch it. You see how it just cleaned it up? And then I'm just blending this, and I like to steeple, and I'm gonna bring it to the nose, bring it down, and there we go. But I like that I can put my contour on first, and it kind of is a don't color here zone. I know not to put my main highlight on there because, well, I already have a coverage there. All right, so I'm bringing that up. I'm just tidying a little bit here. I get a little discoloration here, so I'm able to put my highlight there. But all I need to do is tap into that a few times, and that's enough for right here. And I'm gonna take also what's left on the brush. I'm just gonna tap right there because I don't need a lot of coverage on my forehead, and I already have that contour there. And that's it. That's my main highlight. That's as much foundation as I need. Next, I'm gonna go into my brightening, and I'm gonna use this top part of the brush. I'm gonna tap into it, and I'm gonna go right in between the brows right here and add some brightening. And then I'm gonna come down my nose, just like that. And then I'm gonna come right here and I'm gonna tuck my lips and go. All I'm doing is bringing brightness in. And so I'm just putting it a little bit lighter right there. And then I have it on the nose, and I can just tap with my finger right here. And then I'm gonna push that brightening I had right here. And it looks like it's reflecting the light. It's where the sun will hit you and reflect the light. And so that's all the brightening is doing. All right, I'm gonna flip this to this end. I like this end because it does get pointy, so it's easy to get into the nooks and crannies. I'm gonna go into that brightening again, and I am gonna come right here into my inner corner, and I am gonna push up towards my tear duct. That way it brightens right here without being a shimmer. I don't like putting a shimmer on the inner corner of my eye. I feel like as the day wears, it can start to look a little muddy, and it can mature my inner eye. So I don't do it. And then I'm gonna snatch myself right here where this is just an instant eye lift. And then I'm just gonna bring what's on the brush together, and I'm just steepling this down, just like this. And it just gives you this youthful glow. It's bright, it makes you look like you slept. If you need that, and I'm just gonna use this end, I'm flipping it, and I'm just giving it a little blend right here. But look at what a difference brightening can do. It's not necessary, nobody needs a brightener, but you need a brightener. It's kind of like contour. Nobody needs a contour, but you need a contour. All right, so I'm gonna go in with that small end again. I'm gonna go in to that brightener, and again, I'm just coming right here and I'm bringing it to that tear duct, and then I'm just making a little triangle right there. So it comes down a little bit. Tap a little more in, and I'm gonna snitch my eye up and give myself an eye lift. This makes me look young. Oh, you're not 40, I am. You're not 40, I am. So I add brightener, and then people say, no, you're not. I am. Okay, so this is great makeup for mature skin. It's also really good for if kids are getting into makeup because it's teaching them less is more. It's also giving them less product on their skin, which means with that hormonal skin, they're getting less breakouts. Teaching them about double cleansing is also important because you should do that even as an adult. But this is such a good makeup for young girls learning how to do makeup. It teaches them to love their face because kids are so into comparing and kids are mean, but it gets them to love their face. It gets them to get to know their face and what works for them. And it's good. I wouldn't, if you have a young teenager that's getting into makeup and you want them to maybe try this makeup because it's better for their skin, let's be real, I would not match them to all these colors. I would give them a main highlight, I would give them a blush, and I would give them a setting powder because they are going to get breakouts, and the best way to cover a breakout isn't with a lot of product. It's with the same you would put on, but setting that spot with a little bit of powder. So that's why I would recommend that, and maybe 2 eyeshadows. Same size palette, but less for them. As you get older, you get in, and then as they get older, they can add to it. They can add the contour later when they're ready, when you think they're ready. But this is also really good for mature skin because you use such little product, it's not gonna add texture onto those fine lines. All right, so now we're gonna get into, I'm gonna use this tip here and just tidy things up right here and here. I'm gonna get into my cheek color. Just touching things up. All right, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna use my finger, and I'm gonna do a fingerprint. And I am gonna go not on the apple, I'm gonna come right up here towards the middle, and I'm just gonna smear that up. Okay, same thing over here. I like to go into the middle because I'm of an age. I don't have apples when I am resting. That's what my daughter says. Are you resting your face? Yes, I'm resting my face, and when I rest my face, I don't have apples, but when I smile, they pop right out. So what I do is I'm gonna go onto this end, the flat end, and I'm gonna tap this, and I'm gonna tap onto it, and I'm gonna bring it up and down my cheek, and I can see where my apple is, so it kind of ombres to the apple, and then when I'm not smiling, I don't look like I have a circus clown circle on my face. So that's why I do it this way, and so I'm just going to use little circles, more steepling than little circles. Blends better that way. And I'm gonna go over here and do the same thing. So while I am steepling and blending in my lip and cheek, it's also blending into that contour that I had under blended. So when I kind of cleaned up under here, I blended a little then, and now I'm blending it again with that lip and cheek. And so if I were to blend it all out at the beginning, I could blend it away where you don't see it. So that's why I under blend it, and that's it. That's my whole face. That's it. I can take my contour here, and I can put it here. I put it on 2 places, and I just smear it haphazardly on my Cupid's bow, and it kind of puts a shadow there. Take a little brightener here and here, and then I just tap it out. And then you can use your lip and cheek on your lips. It's a really, really pretty pink. It's just a good pop. And then we're gonna take, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Pretty, pretty. I spray it up and I let it fall, and that's it. And that's the face, and that's easy. That was my whole face in less than 15 minutes. That's with chatting, so we all know I'm chatty. All right, that's it. Have a great day. Message me.